How we doing? It's Wednesday. Thank you for joining us here this week. Ravori Sports Podcast. We're here at 8 o'clock. Hallelujah. Victory in itself right there. Thank you very much for joining us this evening here. We're here. We try to be here every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Thank you very much out there, all of you. Pushing for some numbers here. So we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers here on our X page. We're at 800 and change. We'd like to get at least 100 subscribers totally on the YouTube. We're about 87, like that. All of our platforms, over 100 on Instagram, Facebook, etc. So we're trying to get that at least. The 1,000 subscribers and 100 on YouTube is definitely what we're looking for the most. Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com. So that is our at Facebook. So if you want to set an appointment, if you live in the Winchester area, if you know, you could go ahead and set an appointment with us as well. We would come out and do notary work, spend the day collecting from some of these agencies that, hey, come on, guys, it's been time here, 30 days. You need to come on. Went out and did the payments. You need to send a check. There you go. All right. And that will be on the podcast for you agencies out there. All right. So Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com. See Charles Harris. We are Legal Shield. So definitely to Legal Shield. It's a great resource for you guys. So definitely too, if you are looking to go ahead and save money on those legal bills and things like that, we're moving into an economy that is very much, in my opinion, that's going to be a self-employed economy. Like, you're going to have to be self-employed. A lot of people with jobs. So definitely like that. So a lot of you business owners out there, if you want to go ahead and get your business off the ground, Legal Shield can help you do that with your legal fees and the lawyers. And you're going to need that. Trust me, running a business, keep that in mind. Great resource. Just definitely check that out as well. And what we're calling nowadays our flagship, RavoriSports.company.site. So definitely check that out. And all of our fanatics, if you want Ravens and Orioles jerseys, Terps, whatever. We got Terps going on right now. I know some of you might be checking the Terps out right now as they're playing the Mount St. Mary's. They pretty much play every year too. They're halftime right now. So Mount and the Terps will go ahead and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's start with the ugly win on Sunday for your Baltimore Ravens. 23-16 Ravens over the Browns. Not a pretty win by any stretch. I thought they turned the ball over a lot. Obviously, they had a couple turnovers. Lamar had 2 picks. One of them was kind of fluky. We know the story of this game, though, right? The offensive line. That's what we're all talking about, the poor play, the offensive line as well. So how was Lamar on Sunday? Definitely his worst outing, 14 of 25, 193. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that Lamar's playing banged up. I don't think there's any more. This is, again, today, we got the practice. I saw the practice report right before I came on tonight. Once again, missing practice on Wednesday. I'm not saying he's not going to play. I didn't say that. But this is a pattern now. This is a couple weeks in a row. He's missing the Wednesday practice. I think they're trying to ease up on him in practice. He's trying to ease up in runs. There's definitely something with Lamar where he's banged up. He's playing through it. Obviously, he's good enough to play through it, but he's not 1,000% here as well. So a lot of guys are. It's football. I understand that. But that's clearly a thing with Lamar here as well. A little bit banged up here at the start. Here as we get getting to the tail end of the season. Derrick Henry didn't look like he has the same burst, but he was good on Sunday. Obviously, Henry's problem is the run blocking has been terrible in a lot of ways. Derrick Henry, 18 to 103, 1 touchdown. They kept feeding him the ball, though. I think he broke a few runs. This is what you're going to get with Henry, though. This is why I don't understand sometimes when they give up on the run. I've kind of said it so many times, so I'm going to say it one more time here. John Harbaugh does not like bell cows. He does not like to give the ball to one guy 30 times, 20 times. He doesn't like doing that. He likes to spread it, the carries around. Now, there was no Justice Hill last week. Justice was at practice. He should play. We hope he played because he was at practice today, along with Marlon Humphrey. Shout out to Marlon as well, who was at practice as well. But when you get a Henry enough carries, as Luke Bishop keep calling for it, he breaks one. Like he's going to break one. He's not. If you give him just 5-6, he's going to break one, and that's what happened on Sunday. Even despite all the pass rush and the rush and the poor play of the line, he was. I mean, he was really stood out. I thought Keith Mitchell was pretty good too. He had over 5 yards to carry as well. Zay Flowers growing right before us. 3 receptions, not a lot, but 78 yards. This guy is seeing the fit. You just see how he's reading defenses now with that great speed. It's not just everything 9 route, go down late, but no, he's going to soft spots in the zones. He's reading where Lamar's going to throw the ball. He's seeing, you can see it when he's doing it now. This is what's making him a top 15 receiver in the league. I think he's like 12th in receiving yards. This guy's fantastic. So definitely Flowers. I mean, look, we had to wait a long time to get a great receiver. And so we got it with Zay Flowers. Kyle Hamilton's just so much fun to watch. Kyle Hamilton is just moving him, putting Gilman back at the traditional free safety spot, along with Malachi Starks, who's also developing right before us. And then you're just letting Hamilton out there do his thing. Let him play nickel. Let him play safety at times. Let him play linebacker at times. Let him rush the passer at times. It really confused the quarterbacks of Cleveland on Sunday. Kyle Hamilton, you had the spot where he was at all times, and he was fantastic. 9 tackles, 1 sack. Definitely 2 outstanding as well. Defense as a whole has been really good. Moving Hamilton was really good. Gilman understands everything, the playbook right from minute 1 as well. He's been really good. The run defense has been good. I think Aeneas people should be playing more. I do believe that's because they are trying to get big guys in there. That's why you're seeing Tavian Bryan. That's why you're seeing Peebles is more of a Russian type, more of a pass rusher type, not as good against the run. I think that's why you're seeing more John Jenkins and not him, Tavian Bryan, et cetera, as well. But Hamilton, I thought, was fantastic on Sunday. The 2 quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. So Gabriel starts the game, went out with a head concussion injuries. Apparently he's didn't play the second half, won't play this week. The backup Shedeur came in 4 for 16 and 47 yards, 1 INT. Boy, I knew they were going to be talking about this everywhere on Monday. Gabriel first. I think Gabriel is a good NFL backup quarterback. He's just a limited skill set. I mean, he's not uber accurate. He's fairly accurate, but only in short passes. He really, I've seen a couple times downfield only if teams were playing it right, or because he throws so many short passes, teams come in. Then he can kind of chuck it downfield and get things passed. But that's just kind of what he is. He's a limited skill set. Shedeur, I really can't say much about Shedeur in that short period as well. 4 for 16. Hearing all week they haven't been playing him with the ones ever or hadn't getting him any reps or whatever. They don't want him there. I kind of said that on draft day. This is the owner pick. When they picked him, he wanted Dylan Gabriel for some reason because he's, I think, probably easier as a backup. I mean, I don't think he knows. I don't know if he sees either one of them a starter, but Dylan Gabriel, he kind of sees him as a backup, as a guy who can stay with the organization. With Shedeur, owner pick, so he didn't look prepared. He's going to have to look like that going forward this week. We'll see. I don't. He was terrible though. I mean, there's no question about it. But you're going to have to see how that goes. They was when they blitzed him, it was over. I mean, he couldn't. There wasn't much he could do. Quinshawn Jenkins was pretty good in this game, 17 for 59. I think he's probably their best offensive player as well, especially with Gabriel in the game. Basically, all he does is throw to running backs, tight ends, etc. So you got a Quinshawn Jenkins in there as well. Ravens did pretty good. Defense has been improving. Run defense has been improving, especially as well. You don't have, obviously, Matabuke. I don't know if you're going to have Braddock Washington at all this year. He's on IR. He should be eligible to come back pretty soon. But Travis Jones has been good. John Jenkins been in there. A lot of run for the John Harbaugh guy, Brent Urban. So you're seeing that as well. Run defense is doing well. Not a lot from the passing game from either guy. I think they had over 100 yards, but Tillman had the best day, 3 for 52. They pretty much, I mean, the quarterbacks just weren't good enough to get receivers the football in this one. This was the problem. This was the reason why the Browns were even in the game. Was Myles Garrett had 4 sacks. He could have had 7 or 8. I'm serious. I mean, that's how bad they looked. Ronnie Stanley couldn't do anything with Garrett. Overall, I'm not worried about Ronnie Stanley. That's a Garrett thing. Rosengarten as well. Some people have been getting on Rosengarten. I feel so bad for him because he's playing next to Falele. That can't be good for you. that can't be good for you. Like playing next to a guy that's just so inept. That can't be good for him as well. Linderbaum was as good as he always has been. Voorhees had a lot of trouble. Voorhees, now according to PFF, he had a good day. Voorhees, I think, does the right things, but he is not strong enough. That's kind of what I see. Technically wise, he's not always perfect. And when he isn't, he's not strong enough to kind of get. See, a lot of people will have you believe that technique is everything. With guys, it is for some guys, but some guys can get away with poor technique because they're strong enough to fit. Voorhees doesn't really seem to have that. When he doesn't do, when technique kind of falters, he really struggles. So, but Garrett was just all over the field. He had 4 sacks. Lamar Jackson, had it been a different quarterback, it would have been 6 or 7 because Lamar got away from him several times where it would have been worse than that. Just wide open. Like sacks is not just wide open stuff. No double coverage, poor coaching, poor play by the offensive line as well. So, but however, we did win. I think you lose this game had you had any semblance of quarterback in Cleveland. That's how bad your offensive line looked as well. That caused errors. There was other errors in this one. A fumble recovery. Deontay Wester fumbled the ball. I was corrected on Facebook. It wasn't a touchdown. It led to a field goal. They had a pick 6. Ball bounced out of hand. So a couple errors. Despite the errors, they did go ahead and get the win as well. So 23-16 as well. We'll get to Harbaugh on the line, what he said about the line in a second, but we got a game this week. And we got a change here. So we got the Jets that are 2-8, did lose their last game on last Thursday night, to the New England Patriots as well. New England's fantastic. We're going to talk about it. We might get to talk about New England pretty soon here because they're going to play the Ravens. But the change, Tyrod now, former Ravens backup, as well started his career with Joe Flacco as Joe Flacco's backup. Went to Buffalo, became a starter. He's 36. Shout out to Tyrod having such a long career. This is the right thing. Is he a stud? No. But he's going to at least get him something. Justin Fields was really struggling, benched in the last game. Tyrod is going to go in this game here for them as well. Breece Hall is going ahead as well. This is, to me, for them, their number one offensive player, in my opinion, Breece Hall. When I watched the Jets a couple times and I have seen them, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Breece Hall really, really do well. I'm seeing Breece Hall really, really do well when he's playing. So I'm seeing Breece Hall really play well. They are having trouble, I think, in a lot of areas, their offensive line. But I think Hall, he's never had a 1,000-yard season. I was actually surprised when I was researching that. So but he does 722, 5 2 touchdowns. He is going to be the focus as well. Did go ahead, had some changes at wide receiver. This is probably, I would think, they're much maligned. Adam Mitchell is probably the guy you want to give the most focus to as well. Should be able to control those receivers as well. Garrett Wilson is going to be out here for a few more weeks. So Mitchell, I think, kind of steps up to the number one role here as well. So be interesting to see how that plays out. And here, somebody we know, Brandon Stevens, also a guy, now probably the number one corner or number one defensive player, traded away Hot Sauce Gardner early in the season, traded away Quincy Williams. Brandon Stevens has been good for them this year. Stevens, I think, always has good coverage. I really do. I really have always liked his coverage. Now, the thing with him, he doesn't pick the ball off as well. That's the problem. He doesn't locate the ball well, so I think that's the issue. But he really can do some coverage. Not an elite guy like Surtain or McDuffie or anything like that, but he's pretty good, at least in man-to-man coverage as well. So look for the Ravens to go ahead and square that away. I do think Lamar is going to play despite him missing practice, but I do think we have to calibrate ourselves a little bit with Lamar because he is clearly banged up, I think, at this point, running less, looking downfield more. He's taking a lot of hits from the offensive line, which isn't helping, obviously, as well. But I think Lamar is going to play. Derrick Henry, not as good of a season he's having last season. I think, considering the circumstances, I'm just fine with Derrick Henry for the most part. 807 yards, 166. Clearly on his way to another 1,000-yard season. Could get 1,500 yards. I don't know if he won't get 2,000, 10 touchdowns, something like that. Derrick Henry showing up big time. Flowers, we already talked about. I mean, as far as him being one of the better receivers, I think, in the entire NFL. Shout out to Mark Andrews. Would be remiss taking over Derek Mason's record as the all-time leading receiver. So congratulations to Mark Andrews. Great career. It's been better lately down the stretch, too. Getting the ball in the red zone, getting that touchdown in the game last week. Off the spin direct snap. They've been practicing that. So getting the game winner last week. Roquan, 45 tackles. No problem now with Roquan. This looks like what we've been missing all season. Before that, he was obviously injured. Roquan looks healthier, playing healthier, looks like more of a leader on the field, got more dog in him. Not as many tackles. I'm seeing that, but definitely you can see his impact in the game as well. I think we're going to see maybe X Factor DeAndre Hopkins. Let's see it as well, more from DeAndre. Let's see now if they can use DeAndre more down the stretch as well. We know the offensive weapons are there, but DeAndre more down the stretch. Teddy Buchanan has been fantastic as well. So definitely, too. They're getting some stuff down from the rookies as we go. Malachi Starks, Tyler Luke, Teddy Buchanan, Mike Green. You're starting to get those contributions from the rookies. That's very important as well. So don't rather have had Justin Fields, frankly, but not so worried about the Jets here at the start. I think the Ravens, again, went handily as well. But the line, oh, boy. Let's get to the coach here. Talking. I'm going to share my screen here with you guys so we can go ahead and hear from Coach Harbaugh. He's here talking about, to go ahead and set it up here, he's here talking about the offensive line play of the Ravens as well. So here is the coach.
The best 5 players are the best. The guys, 5 guys who are playing the best. That's what you do. I mean, that's not. It's not even a hard answer, you know. So the question is pretty much, yeah, we're putting the best 5 players out there, and they're playing pretty darn good. Can they play better? Sure. You evaluate it play by play. Every single position, you evaluate it play for play for play for play. And some plays are great. Some plays are good. Some plays need to be better. You want them to be better, and you try to improve on them. So that's how it goes with every position. So, and there's always going to be areas where, you know, that from one game to the next can play better or whatever. So that's how it works.
Yeah, you guys out there don't believe that, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, do not believe that bologna sandwich from the head coach there. That is a grade A bologna sandwich. When I was a kid, you know, we didn't even get to eat the good bologna sandwiches. We got to eat the low grade. You know, sometimes the difference between Kool-Aid and if you have a drink of Kool-Aid, there's Kool-Aid and there was showing my age here, Flavor Aid, right? Flavor Aid was even cheaper than Kool-Aid was, like that. And there's bologna sandwiches. There was SK and all. No. You're going over there to generic stuff. That was a generic bologna sandwich from the coach. You've got to be kidding me. There's no way he believes that. No way he believes that. No way in the world he likes what he's seeing out there from those guys. No chance. I think it's way past time, obviously, to make the change. But he must believe that there's nothing there. And not playing Carson Vincent. I know some people want Emory Jones. I project 5th round pick, etc. So it doesn't shock me that they're not playing him. Emory Jones, they love him to be ready. It's possible he's not ready yet. Ben Cleveland, he doesn't like. For whatever reason, he's not playing Ben Cleveland. Bullock hasn't seen. I almost forgot Bullock was on the team, but Bullock hasn't seen the field. I don't think any, like very, very little as well. And Noteboom is in the doghouse, so you can bench him, but you're going to leave Filet out there. Lamar's going to get hurt. I think if this continues, there's no way. I mean, this is just not even playable. I don't know. I don't know what else to say at this point. What all of us can say. Would say this. All I've seen this week, and I kind of noticed this last year, but the fans kind of like, I don't know why you guys aren't noticing this. Everybody notices this now. So if we're doing that as fans, I'm sure the Jets are doing it, the Patriots are doing it, the Steelers are doing it, the Bengals, etc. They all can see how bad the line is, especially right guard. Left guard is really strong. Voorhees has really struggled as well. I think there's some hope there, a little bit. But he doesn't look like a starter either. So I'm with you, all you guys in there, all you fans that are thinking that this is lousy, because I agree 10,000% with that. This is crazy. Big five biggest games on the schedule that are not Ravens games. So let's go over it as well. The NFL week 12. So definitely we had a pretty good slate of games there last week. Except we're going on as well. Put up my notes here. All right, so pulling up my notes here. Thank you for your cooperation as well. Bucks and the Bills. So the Bills survive. I think Bills 44. They're going to score points. Bucks defense I worry about a little bit now. This is a couple times now. Those scores have been pretty high. on the other side. Mayfield, whatever they score points, we know they're going to start to get healthy, I think. So I'm not too worried about Tampa, especially in that division as well. But the Bills, I think the Bills are the same. They score. Defense is kind of spotty. They're kind of spotty in the middle of the year. The difference is they got another team in the division that's really good. Jags all over the Jaguars as well. Jags all over the Chargers. Chargers, just a lot of injuries. I think that's they're it's amazing they could do what they do with the line. They could score as many points. They just had a bad day offensively. They're banged up, I think, in some areas as well. The Jags, they look good some Sundays. They're inconsistent, but they look good. And it's hard to predict the Jags games because how they look Sunday to Sunday. It's really tough to tell. Seahawks and Rams. Darnold really struggled in this last game. I think that was the biggest difference. Stafford, I think, you could argue he's the MVP of the league as well. I don't love the Rams in the trenches always, but they don't make mistakes, and that's exactly why they won this football game. The Rams, Darnold, I think, had a couple of interceptions in this game, and that's what it is. I don't think any less of the Seahawks after that as well. Everybody's like shocked that the Chiefs are back to the pack a little bit. I kind of thought that as well. Their offense is good, but they're not good against great defenses because they're not as explosive as they were. Some of their guys are older. Line isn't quite as good. They're just a little step off. Denver is the real deal. Their defense is no joke. I think this is either them or Houston is the best defense in the NFL. So they're definitely no joke. Their quarterback plays well when they need it. Eagles also, too, I'm not surprised they beat the Lions. The Eagles kind of are where they are. They went ugly. People trying to find reasons to complain about the Eagles, but they're pretty good, and they just kind of win ugly games. That's kind of what they do. All right, this week, Texans and the Bills. This is really, 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 really big for, I think, Texans especially. So if the Texans can kind of find a way to actually get this win, they will really go and move themselves into the upper echelon of at least the playoffs. They're like 5-5. They're kind of sitting behind Jacksonville right now. I think the Texans are decent enough. I mean, I think they have a good. I don't know if Stroud's going to play in this game. Davis Mills I think, is a decent enough backup. He can win a stretch of games for them. Buffalo has to score a lot of points, and that's why I like the Texans in this game, because Sundays when they can't score a lot of points, when they can't just run up the scoreboard, they struggle. And I think with this defense that they have, with Will Anderson and Stingley and all these guys, I think they are going to struggle a bit. So that's why I like the Texans in this game, even if they don't have Stroud as well. I do think their offense is good enough to kind of like Denver, good enough. Not great, but good enough. Bears and the Squealers in this one. Bears, I think, are fixing their issues. I think I will say this about Caleb. He looks different. He looks more disciplined. You could tell that Ben Johnson, he's listening to him and he's being coachable. And I listened to I heard him say it during the broadcast, hey, man, he's talking. I'm listening. I'm trying to learn. I love it. I dig it. He's buying in. And you can kind of see the results week by week. He's handling himself well at the fifth. So I do like what I'm seeing here from Caleb as well. Their defense, we're going to see if it gets better with some of their guys coming back. They've had some injuries that have really cost them. The Steelers, I got no idea. I mean, I don't know if Aaron's playing. They're kind of holding that close to the vest. Mason Rudolph played last week. I'm going to say it again with the Steelers. I don't think they do anything well. I think they are very, very average in so many areas. I think their run game is not great. I think the line is not great. Not bad, but not great. I think they have one good receiver. I mean, certainly you got Metcalf. You have one decent receiver. But then you have not so good ones as well. Their defense, I think, has struggled at times. I do think their pass rushers are the real deal. I think Watt maybe not the same player all the time, but Hyman and Highsmith are really, really good. I think that if there's a strength, that's it. I don't think they beat the Bears in this game. Bears, I think they're. I question the Bears defense. I'm not sure the Steelers have enough offense with or without Aaron to go ahead and beat them. Chiefs and the Colts, I think this is huge for both. I do like the Chiefs in this game. I can't do it with the Colts, man. I think Jones is kind of looking like kind of coming back to earth a bit, and that's not going to work. I would say this: the Chiefs' defense isn't what it was, and I think this will be a big test for them. But I do like them in Arrowhead. I do think they have a good home field advantage. The Colts, they did lose in Pittsburgh. They have not been nearly as good on the road, and this is going to be a tough game. So I do like the Chiefs in this one as well. Bucks and Rams. So we want to fire at Warren Sapp, Kurt Warner, et cetera, all those guys in this one. Bucks are. I'm still kind of believing in the Bucks. I still don't think they win this game because I think the Rams are really rolling. The Rams are Stafford, Adams, Puka Nacua. I think they're really running. Their defense, I think, is pretty good too. They're not as physical as I like to see them. That's the only kind of criticism I have of the Rams. But they're really good. They may be the best team in the NFC as well with a Super Bowl quarterback. I think the Rams. And here's one here we didn't think we'd have. So the Panthers and the 49ers as well. Panthers are winning. Like somebody noticed it. I think they Bryce Young, I think, had the best game of his career. I think there was even talk of maybe benching Young, but he went out, he goes out and gets 440 yards in the last game. So forget that. He was really solid. The offense isn't half bad. It's not explosive or anything like that, but it's not half bad. The Niners defense, we know, is a miracle that the Robert Saleh is getting what he's getting as well. Brock Purdy is back. That's why I think they win. I do not think it's close between Brock Purdy and Matt Jones. I think Kyle Shanahan can make anything look good. So I think that was a lot of it. So I do think 49ers at home over the Panthers, who have been hella scrappy though, like all season long. So there you go. Big five biggest games on the schedule that are not Talk to somebody this week who watches the videos. Does that music have to be so loud? It absolutely. So there you go. Big five biggest games on the schedule for the NFL. College football, we're going to talk about the Terps here because we got news here. We got baseball news and all that, etc. Big week. Maryland and Illinois. Let's talk about that. Is here because that's the for me always the most important business what goes on the field. So Maryland and Illinois last week, Maryland loses again, just flat out gashed on the ground again. They are not good enough in football issues that are important in football in terms of that. Run the ball, stop the run. The Terps aren't doing either one. They're just not doing either one very well. What was it? 225 on the ground. I think Illinois had Luke Altmaier who's a decent quarterback, solid quarterback, not going to the NFL or anything like that, but a good solid college quarterback as well. But the Terps run game 55 yards. This is not getting anything on the ground. They're getting some drives and moving the football, but they're not getting in the end zone. Malik Washington threw the ball 46 times. That's way too many as well. They don't finish drives. Too many drops as well in the pass game. Shalik Knotts, who's been really good, too many drops as well on this one. You're not helping your quarterback as well. You're not running the ball. You're not playing run defense. They're getting interceptions. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, they're doing that every week. They're like third, I think, or second in all college football and interceptions. So they're doing that, but they're not. You got to finish as well. Now, obviously, the other business, Mike Loxley has been giving the vote of confidence in a letter. I saw it on Twitter. I said, on Sunday, I even commented in there and said, man, I'm surprised he didn't turn the comment section off. Like Jim Smith, I like that. Put his name on it. Guts, let it kind of go. So Mike Loxley is going to be the official coach 2025-26, giving the confidence from the AD, from the team. I suspect that I kind of want to believe they were interested in James Franklin. And I do think that's probably right. But I think it was pretty much done. He was going to Virginia Tech, and he actually did go with Virginia Tech. So I think that might have been a name, had he been interested in them, that would have moved the needle. And they don't want to play this buyout. They don't want to pay this buyout. Then the Kevin Willard, I think, factors in as well. Kevin Willard, they just did this. They just had a coaching change, whatever. So they want to keep stability here as well. Loxley has not been good against the Big Ten, period. It's just no other way to slice that. You went once you get to teams in October, November, December in these games, October, November, December, when these games really matter, you can't get it done. You can only get it done against teams with issues, whatever. But when you're playing the Michigans, the Penn States, the Ohio States, then in more recent years, the Indiana, you're not getting it done. And so I understand why the fans are upset and frustrated, and you want to do a little bit more. And you're getting Loxley back next year. I don't know if it'll change. He's done some good things. I do want to say that. I don't want to be disingenuous to say, well, he hasn't done anything. Done some good things, but he's back. And we got a game this week we're going to talk about here as well. This is the type of team that you're having trouble beating, the Michigan Wolverines that are coming up on Saturday. I think these are the two best freshman quarterbacks in the Big Ten, two of the best, I think, in the entire country. True freshmen. Bryce Underwood, my ballyhoo quarterback, 1951, I'm sorry, as far as total yards. True freshman, 7 TDs, 5 interceptions, runs a lot. So his rush yards you got to factor in. So I think like when you're looking at that, it's going to be a thing where he's going to run the football a lot. They're going to throw. They don't have great receivers, in my opinion, but the physicality is there. Like, I know Jim Harbaugh is gone, but Sharon Moore, the head coach of the Wolverines, definitely has a team with physicality. They don't have explosiveness, out explosiveness, but they definitely have physicality. Justice Haynes, definitely a top 5 guy going into possibly the NFL top 5 running back list, rather not top 5 overall. But Justice Haynes, 121, 857, 10 TDs, clearly one of the best running backs in the country. They're going to go ahead and use him a lot. He's going to run a lot of football for them. This is going to be the guy, the bell cow. You're going to see him most. You're going to see a lot of Bryce Underwood running, a lot of Justice Haynes running as well. Their best receiver is Andrew Marsh. 37, had a big day last week. 37 receptions, 565, 2 TDs. They don't throw the ball a lot. So I don't expect them 45 passes like we saw with Malik Washington or anything like that. So they don't throw the ball a lot, but they do throw the ball. They do throw the ball some. When they are going to throw it, they are going to go ahead and look to Andrew Marsh to go ahead and get stuff done. Rod Moore, I think, is one of the better safeties in the entire college football as well. 1 INT this year, lots of tackles. He's definitely, I think, the leader out there making all the calls. Again, physicality with him. You see him hit people. It matters. Really like this. This is a typical Michigan Wolverines team actually being physical. Malik Washington, INT total is going up. He's had more picks. A little bit better from him. I think I still think he should be audibling more, but at least he's running more. He's checking off those runs. He's doing his zone runs. I would like to see him. This is kind of also to transfer portal with guys. Um, there should be, like, for instance, and what I mean when I say that is there should be somebody there telling him to do that on the team. Like, for instance, if Roman Hemby was still on the team, somebody should be telling him, hey man, you got to check off this stuff. You got to like this and blank the coach and da da da. You know that he's kind of like, again, he's being too congenial. He's, instead of listening to the coach, they're throwing these pass fronts all the time. And he's throwing 46 times. So I like to see more run. Look, run is non-existent. This is your best one, DeJuan Williams, true freshman. I think the future's there for him. Interesting to see how he does going forward, but not great. The group of receivers has struggled. This is their best one, Salika Knock. He's good at times. He's still dropping way too many passes, I think, in end zone and crucial situations as well. He's definitely, to me, the most. You could say Jaleel Farouk is more explosive, but Knox, I think, is better, more explosive in a more traditional offense and a more flow of the game, where Farouk is more just a burner. The flat out burner, the flat out Tyreek Hill type, etc. Like that. Where Knox is better, like in the flow of the game, in the flow of route running and all that other stuff. Jalen Husky got another interception last week. That makes 4. The Terps are one of the best teams as far as taking the ball away in college football, with 18 interceptions as well. They're definitely going to be looking for Bryce Underwood to actually throw the football. I think they're going to get a lot of run game. No bowl this year, guys. So I think Michigan kind of blows them out in this one. I think that's true. So there you go. I think as fans, I think we all kind of were looking maybe change or get some hope in, or I don't. I think it's the buy-in, the buyout is the sticking point. They don't want to pay the buyout. That's gonna cost them a lot of money, and then you got to pay another coach. Also, the Kevin Willard factor is a real thing. They just kind of went through this, so there you go. As well. So let's go ahead and talk a little Maryland basketball before we get to the massive trade that's going on. Terps are down right now, 64-61. I'm not shocked by that, concerning what happened this week. So let's go ahead and do that, get that squared away. Terps basketball. So right now they're losing 64-61. They were victorious Saturday. I did watch the game, a lot of it anyway, with Marquette as well. Pharrell Payne, let's take a look at it here. That was just terrible stuff what happened there. But Pharrell Payne, for those of you that didn't see it, and I want you guys to use discretion, but it really looked bad when he hurt his ankle in this game. So he was going up, did a dunk, came down, and when he came down, it looked like he just snapped his ankle in half. I mean, that looked terrible as well. Now, I did listen to the Fan where they were going to have Bus Williams. I made a point of listening to it since I was there the other day, since I was actually home on. I think it was home early. I think I left early. Yeah, I was actually home to listen to it. It was like 10 a.m. And I did make a point of listening to that, and it was interesting there that he didn't mention it. So Buzz Williams made a point of not really mentioning when he was asked by Bob Haney, hey, I make a point of it not to say anything, blah, 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 about injuries. I don't like to talk about that, et cetera. Blah, blah, blah. So he made a point not to talk about it. So I had heard through the rumor that he was going to be fine, apparently, because he was at a girls' game, he was at a women's basketball game on campus, He was in there tonight actually shooting before the game. He didn't play, but it actually is better than what we hoped in a lot of ways. But this looked terrible here. So let's go ahead and show this video here. Just be careful. Just oh. Oof. Yeah, so that's how that looked. I mean, it looked like he broke his leg, but apparently he's not broke. Even though he didn't say anything, he didn't play tonight. But it doesn't look like as bad as it looked. He did go straight to the hospital. It wasn't career season ending, so apparently to Pharrell Payne as well as he gets through that. Terps did beat Marquette. Marquette is pretty good. Shaka Smart's team is very good. Not as good as they were last year, but the Terps really shot the ball well. That's the key. So when they shoot the ball well, they shot the ball very poorly against Georgetown, but they shot the ball well in this one as well. So, but they're losing tonight. And it doesn't surprise me, only because Pharrell Payne is so much a big part of what they do. We will keep you updated there on that. Big stuff that has happened here. Why don't you want to switch? There you go. So, last night, right after my, I was on the Driving to the Top last night, the open mic. Grayson Rodriguez was traded to the California Angels. I guess still call them California Angels for outfielder Taylor Ward. So Grayson now goes to the Angels, and he will definitely be a part of their rotation going forward. Grayson was 13-6, I think, the last time he pitched. That was in July of 2024. So the last time we had Grayson on the mound. He didn't pitch at all last year. It was a huge mystery what was going on with Grayson. So it was very, very strange what happened. Taylor, so I want to talk about Taylor Ward too for a second. Taylor Ward, I think, is what I heard it said that he is going to be what we're hoping Tyler O'Neill was for them. So I think him bringing him in kind of says something about what's the state of Tyler O'Neill as well. It's going to be a lesser role with the team. That's obvious. This guy had 36 home runs, 100 RBIs. Why do the Angels want to trade him? Average is only like 220, and he's free after this year. That's probably the one thing I don't like about it, because he's going to be gone probably after this year. You're going to have to really bid if he has a good year. I don't love that always. I don't know why. Because if a guy comes in and he does well, then you can't keep him, right? And then if he doesn't do well, then I think there's the upside. Okay, well, it didn't work out. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, but getting what they're getting, I would say, for a guy that I think by all rumor that he didn't want to be here, something weird was happening with Grayson last year. He had the issue with the lat. He's had the issue consistently throughout his career with the lat, but he didn't really pitch at all. He wasn't really in rehab like he was supposed to. They didn't do Tommy John that I'm aware of. They say he should be ready by spring training. He's had injury issues his whole career. So you're getting something back. You're getting a really good player back, considering for a guy that didn't help you at all and possibly didn't want to be here. So I think that's not bad at all. The sad part is, and I do understand, I've seen this a couple times, you haven't developed a pitcher, Michael Elias. You haven't. You haven't developed any pitching at all since you've been here. We were waiting for DL Hall and Grayson to get here. DL Hall's been gone with a trade. Grayson's gone with a trade, partly because of injuries, and you haven't developed any pitching. So for sure, you're going to be looking for pitching. I got to be now. That you're not going to have a spot at Grayson in the rotation as well. You definitely got to be looking for pitching as well. So woke us up late. 11 o'clock. Grayson now in California, no longer in the Orioles. And the segment we were going to do and still going to do, we're going to take a look in our last segment at the entire AL East. So let's take a look at all the teams in the American League East. So 2026 is 2025 is over. What do these teams need to do in the offseason to go ahead and get better in 2026? What are some of the things the Orioles are going to have to do to win the division? Tampa Bay Rays came in fourth last year, 77-85 as well. What do they need? Always starting pitching. You never have enough starting pitching. That's kind of been what they do. Kevin Cash is an outstanding manager. He's going to have to work on the margins. It does look like they'll be back in the Trop this year, and they're going to have to get pitching. Their pitching has faded compared to what they're used to seeing. They're used to having good rotations there as well. So interesting to see how that goes there. Do I have the right one? Give me 1 second. Getting there. Almost done, yeah. Thank you, management. Appreciate your cooperation. This is slide right. I know from the very beginning this Benedict was going to turn out to be a solo singer dressed up like that. That's the truth. I didn't know. I suppose you didn't know this. Okay, that's right. All right, so starting pitching, etc. That's what they need. They always need pitching. Their offense is actually better than what people think it is. So I think they do have some guys there as well. I think the bottom of the graphic, I don't think is right. I don't think Diaz and McClain. But I think the Bassett, I think they're going to look at Zach Oliver, Tyler May, showing you're going to get kind of these middle tier type free agents. Hope you can bring them to Tampa, put them in at Pitchers Park and do well. They also need bullpen help. They probably lose Pete Fairbanks. They didn't keep him. So Luke Weaver, Sir Anthony Dominguez coming up. Outstanding guy, played in the College World Series. Trey Morgan is definitely. So AAA guys coming up. I only use guys, not just with rookie status, but haven't played at all, right? So I didn't take like in Orioles case like a Samuel Basayo or anything like that. Somebody who hadn't played at all as well. So they need pitching. They need pitching to go ahead and get back as well. I do expect them to go ahead and look at a few pitches. Red Sox. They still need pitching. I think they kind of solved their ace problem getting Garrett Crochet last year. Brian Bello was pretty good for them. I'm going to put Roman Anthony as one of the best players too. I think the end was really good. Durant, I think, is going to be the guy they're going to build around going forward. Chapman, I think, found the fountain youth and was fantastic as well. Power hitting, I think, is a need, and I think pitching after, especially Bello's going to be there, but after Crochet, they definitely could use that. Brandon Woodruff, I think they might look at. Joe Ryan, Devin Williams pitched with the Yankees last year. Bellinger, I think that's something they would do. Trent Grisham, I definitely could see that. Pete Alonso, I think, could have Red Sox written all over him as well. I didn't put Kyle Schwarber, but I absolutely see that's something that the Sox might do. And Mikey Romero, definitely he's a guy in AAA that I think you're going to see him at some point. Red Sox, I think they just got to find a way to get past the other two teams in the division as well. What do the Yanks need? Protection for Judge. I don't think they have much of an offense, honestly, outside of Judge in the long term. So they got to get some protection for him. Starting pitching, they're always going to sign starting pitching. And a closer, they've really struggled with that. I think Kyle Tucker is always on the radar. Bo Bichette, Pete Alonso. Yes, I know he's a Met. Like some Yankee fans don't like that. You got to look at it. You look at a guy that can really protect protect Judge. I think that's key. Bregman, I think, is another one that they will do. They're going to look at top shelf pitching like Framber Valdez as well. Marimani, I think, is going to post from Japan. That's going to be key for them as well. Spencer Jones is a guy as well. They do have good pitching, but they're the Yankees. They're going to go ahead and sign starters as well. I think it's about time also to all this Dodgers stuff. If the Yankees are still the Yankees, can they assert themselves in free agency and get a player? Aaron Boone, can they actually do that and get squared away? The team that actually won the pennant in the American League and the AL East last year, the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't want to say they were fluky. I'm having a hard time thinking they're going to repeat that because they were so good last year. So many things went right for them. The big thing for them is, are you going to re-sign Bichette, who's a free agent? He's going to have a lot of interest. It's going to cost you a lot of money. I don't love the Bichette only because of his previous history. He gets hurt a lot. So he's had a lot of seasons where he's been hurt. So it'll be interesting to see. But that's so key for them. Are you going to re-sign Bichette? Are you going to try and run it back as well? The bullpen, we know, is an issue for sure. They're looking for a closer. Hoffman, I think, was a bit of a roller coaster ride. Really good at times. Maybe not others. They're definitely looking. I think they'll absolutely look at that. The starting pitching, I think, well, upgrades possibly. Tucker, I think they're definitely more of a long shot, but I think they're in on it. I think Iglesias, I think, is definitely on the radar. And Diaz, I definitely think that closer is definitely something they're looking at. Bregman, I think they'll take a look. Pete Fairbanks is definitely another closer they're doing. Bellinger, I could absolutely see a one-year deal if he wants to see there. Tiedemann hasn't really premiered yet, didn't pitch last year. It's a good pitching prospect for them. John Snyder is fantastic in the managers in the playoffs. And what do we need? You definitely need starting pitching now that you traded away Grayson. Your closer, you don't have any. Outfield, you did make a trade yesterday, Taylor Ward, so good job. So I think you could take Tucker and all that off the board. Schwarber, I love it if he wants to come here, I think that would be good. Cease, I think, is a real thing. I'm saying that they've been circling each other way too long for that not to be a strong consideration. Michael King, I think, also too is a fallback as well. Ranger, Suarez, and Diaz, I think they'll look at. Fairbanks, I think, is more in play for the Orioles. I think that's for real. I think that's a guy. It won't be too expensive as well, and they'll definitely look at a guy like that. Enrique Bradfield, I think you'll see him at some point next year. Gunnar, Jackson Holiday, and Trevor Rogers are there, and this is the team with the new manager, Craig Albernatz from Cleveland Guardians as well. Orioles, I think, just got to stay healthy. This is going to be a big year. Can you get the track back on the station and actually do that as well? There you go. All right. Thank you guys for joining us here. Sorry about the graphics. Some of that was wrong. Sorry. Apologize for that. Management appreciates you, corporate. And we thank you. I'm serious. Thank you, all of you, for joining us here one more week for the Ravori Sports Podcast as well. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. We'll see you guys after the Jets and Ravens on Sunday. You have a great day.